Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Pretty Sexy Jarrett, aka Stunner Sexy. And of course, you guys, we are back for another review recap. And we're returning back to the streets of LA for Basketball Wives Season 12, Episode 6, which is titled Wacky Attacking Jackie. Baby, from this title, like as always, I can tell this is going to be very interesting, very juicy, and very entertaining. Um, and then before we get into our review, I just want to give a shout out to all my assassin family, my silent but deadly ninjas. Thank y'all for all the love and support. As always, thank y'all for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and sharing your girls' content, and telling a friend to tell a friend. But yes, y'all. Let's jump on into this review. Let's see if the ladies is gonna get cracking in LA. And baby, we still on Miss Evelyn's birthday trip in Vegas. So y'all. Let's get into our opening scene. So y'all know we're still at Evelyn's birthday dinner in Vegas for her B-Day weekend. And baby, all the ladies are still at the table. And Jackie said, baby, we can get it cracking. We can get the Ponderosa popping right here, right now. She's like, if anybody got something at the table they need to say, let's go ahead and address it. And baby, Jackie opened up that floor. And when she opened up that floor, the table started to shake because then there starts to be a back and forth between Miss Chantel and Brandy, an exchange of words. Very much so like Brandy's had a negative attitude. She's been in bad energy. She's been in bad spirit, and baby, th- Jackie looking. Everybody trying to figure out like, wait a minute, what is really going on right now? And it gets so heated that baby, Jackie had to ask for shots. She was like, can we get a round of shots, please? Round of shots. Then while she was ordering the shots, Miss Shani chimes in and said, well, Brandy, you have had a nasty attitude. And this has not been the best playing weekend. And baby, Brandy said, yeah, the lady's not gonna gang up on her. This is not gonna be gang up on Brandy night. She's just not understanding where all this energy is coming from. And I'm just like, it's a lot going on at this table. And then Miss Chantel tells Brandy she can go smooth hell. And Brandy says she can go there and tells her to stay in the child's place. Now, Miss Brandy, this child's place coming, we're going to stop doing that because that lady is also on this child. And Jackie just sitting at the table, and it was just giving a lot of energy, a lot of vibes. But after this whole explosion happened, Miss Chantel got up and decided she was just going to leave. She was like, she ain't doing it. And Brandy apologizing to Jackie. It's giving a lot. It's going on. And then Miss Shane says, like I said, she get up and leave. Jackie gets up and she says she heading out. If her baby leaving, she leaving. And her and Miss Chantel walk outside. They have a brief conversation, but it ends kind of quickly because Miss Chantel says, this is not that. Mom, I don't want you leaving out here with me. Please go back in, enjoy yourself. She's like, I'll call you when I get to the Airbnb. Baby, then Miss Jackie go back inside. Everybody was like, "Oh, Jackie, you back? You back?" Jackie was like, "Yeah, I'm back." She good, and we get to exchanging gifts at the table, and it's just a very beautiful moment to see with the ladies as they're having it. And then we go from that scene to our next scene, and it is our girl Ming and Ty, and they're out on the court playing a little one-on-one basketball. Our girl Ming is looking good, and it's all white, baby. And they just having fun, and of course catching up and talking about last night, and you know their relations. And then y'all, we go from that scene to our next scene. Of course, and in our next scene, we see our girl, Miss Jackie. She is calling Miss Jennifer and inviting her out with her and some of the ladies like Brandy, Ming, and Miss Denise. For like a little girl stays out in Vegas since they're still out there. And it looks like it's going to be a good time, a good vibe. So we see Miss Jackie, Brandy, Denise, and me, and they pull up to, I think, Area 51. And that's what it looks like the sign says. But it's like a little strip in the Las Vegas. And it looks like it's going to be a good time, a good blast. for the ladies to do. And Jackie says, lets the ladies know, hey, Jen is coming to join them, and she should be there shortly. And then we see Miss Jennifer arrive to the scene, to the place, and baby, she looking good. She glowing, because last night was her honeymoon night. So, it was on there popping in her room with her husband. And baby, um, Miss Jennifer walks up. She speaks to all the ladies. They give hugs, and then her and Jackie get together. And Jackie said, "Okay, girl, we got to start addressing each other as Miss and Miss now. We can't address each other the same." And I'm like, "Look at Jackie." And they are walking in, talking, giggling, and laughing. And then y'all, we jump from that scene to our next scene, and it's the other group of ladies, which is Miss Chantel, Miss Evelyn, Miss Shani, um, Ty, and Brittany, and baby. It's just a vibe. Like the lady said, they are going to go have some fun and adventure today. Miss Chantel says, she's over last night. She's gonna relax and unwind. And baby, it's just gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a mood. She said they finna have themselves a good time. And honestly, this what they finna do look fun. Like I've seen people do it all the time, like on TikTok where they ride on the Vegas Strip. They go like parasailing through it. And baby, when I say Miss Chantel is ready for it, baby. All the ladies said they ready. They got their cameras, they got their phones, baby. They going flying through and they're just jangling. It looks like it's a vibe. They're laughing and talking. And this is what I love to see on Basketball Wives. When we have fun and not all the drama. So y'all, as we go from that scene to our next scene. So yes, y'all, as we break into our next scene, baby, it is Miss Jackie, Jennifer, Ming, and Denise, and baby, they are finna have something to eat. And then we split the screen and we go join the other ladies after they're done guiding through the Vegas Strip, which is Miss Evelyn, Miss Chantel, Ty, and Miss Brittany. And baby, both groups are having conversations about everything that kind of took place at the dinner the night before, what happened. Miss Jackie shares with Miss Jennifer about what Miss Evelyn says about her cuckoo, and baby, then we see the ladies bring up to Miss Evelyn about her comments about Miss Jennifer's cuckoo and how it look and what it look like. And baby, the vibes is giving mixy. They giving real mixy on both ends of the table, because Miss Jennifer's like, baby, I don't care. She was like, 'cause who's a wife and who's not? And, Miss Evelyn was like, well, since she got a fake auntie doing PSAs and telling people about my private part, let's talk about hers. Baby, it is a lot going on. And then we also see Miss Jackie, bring about what happened between her daughter and Miss Brandy at the table while she's amongst the ladies. And she was like, I told them, like, look here, y'all want to argue, but I'm not getting in the midst of that. And then we kind of go to a scene with Miss Chantel and the ladies talking about, and she's like, I'm very surprised that my mom, did not defend me and did not like flip out, because she's flipped out over things way smaller. And if you kind of know the history on Basketball Wives, then you can kind of see this dynamic of this relationship and how it's playing out and what may be in store to come. But you guys, as we go from that scene to our next scene. So yes, y'all. As we get back into our next scene, it is once again Miss Jackie, Miss Brandy, Ming, Jennifer, and Denise, and baby, they are fin to go on a bar in the sky, baby, and it looks like a vibe and a good energy. And while they're riding up and going up in the sky, Miss Jackie tells the ladies, "Do not look down." Look up and just, have a good time, because baby, they was up high in the sky. But as they're sitting around the bar, they're having conversations, like I said, about everything that's been going on, been happening, the situation between Miss Chantel and Miss Brandy, what happened at the dinner table, and, the emotions and the feelings and where everything and how everything should be handled. And Miss Jackie does say that she knows her daughter is grown and that they're in this circle, and she wants her to have the relationships with the ladies that she wants her to have and that she doesn't want to get involved in. And baby, while they're having that conversation, Brandy expresses to Miss Jackie about, why everything happened and what went on, because they was like, it seems like her anger was directed toward Miss Shani and not Miss Chantel. Miss Chantel just got the brute end of the stick. Baby, B. And we come back down and they invite Jen to dinner. So this is gonna be very interesting to see. And y'all, as we go from that scene to our next scene, baby, it's the ladies and they're all going out for, dinner. And baby, we pull up to this bar. It's giving a vibe. Everybody got on all black. Everybody look good. They all sitting down, taking seats. The ladies are waiting for Miss Shani to come because she has not arrived yet, but she is on her way. And baby, the ladies are very impressed and pleased with the establishment that has been picked out. And Miss Evelyn asks Miss Jackie, "Did you, Jackie? You pick this out?" And Jackie says, "Yes. Because my girl Brandy has been having a hard time, and it's just been a very stressful weekend. I decided I would take over for tonight." And baby, you can tell the room is like not pleased, and the looks on their faces are definitely giving like what WTF, like what's going on right now. And while they're sitting down, they're talking, and Miss Chantel Express is like, "Okay, yeah, I know Brandy's been going through a lot, but Brandy's not your flesh and blood. I'm your flesh and blood. You know what I got going on. You know what my issues is right now." And baby, then Miss Shani come walking through the door. "Okay, Miss Shani." And baby, Miss Shani sits down with the ladies while they were looking at the menu and they're getting ready to take shots. And then the next thing you know, they all sit down in the circle and baby, let's just say things is about to get juicy. So, baby, while they sitting there at this table and they talking about these things, baby, Jackie gone ahead and open up the can of worms. And Jackie was like, well, not before Jackie opened up the can of worms. They asked what each of the groups did today, and both groups did explain and say they had fun doing what they was doing. Then they jumped into the tea and where Jackie opened up the can of worms. And Jackie was like, well, today while we were out, Miss Denise, I'm glad that, we got a chance to talk about why Miss Brandy was directing her anger at Chantel when it was really for Miss Shani, and she's like she really is happy for it. And baby, why did Miss Jackie say that? Because then when she let that out, the girls start having conversation and mingling and mixing. And Miss Brandy expressed to Miss Chantel like, hey, she wants to talk and have a conversation. And if they're willing, if she's able and willing to do that, she's down for it. And Miss Chantel says, no, 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 no. Just like you tried to sun me in front of the group, you need to apologize to me in front of the group. Whatever you want to talk to me about, you need to talk to me about in front of the group. And Brandy says, I don't want to conflate things. I kind of want to pull and have a conversation to the side. And baby, it's getting messy and sticky in a drama field at this circle. Do you hear me? And then there's like questions to ask Brittany. So Brittany asked, so what was the ending resolution? What like how did we resolve this? And baby, next thing you know, the girls, everybody start going and having back and forth. Brandy saying her thesis, Miss Chantel saying hers. The rest of the group is just being quiet because they're trying to take it all in. Because right now, this is Chantel versus Brandy. And, Jackie's sitting there, Jackie keeping her calm, keeping her cool and not, getting involved. Now Jackie does intervene and say and speak up on situations. She was like, now you let me know if you want me to have your back. I'll get into this. But if you don't want me to have your back, I'm gonna stay up out of it. She said, because you we here, daughter. And baby, Brittany is looking, the group is looking, Jackie is talking to Brandy, and Jackie says, now see, this is what I'm not gonna do. What we not gonna do with me, my child, my kid, this situation, we not gonna do this. Ay, Jackie, I mean, it's a lot going on. I know people probably feeling like different ways about this, but I just honestly feel like it's a group, it's TV, it's a lot of things going on right now. And even Ty chimes in and she shares with the group and with Jackie that Chantel expressed to her that she feels like Jackie does not always have her back and she's not always there for her. And Miss Chantel just sits back. She's like, I'm so far removed from this conversation. And Jackie's like, so tell me, like, I don't even know what's going on between me and her. Like, this my child. No one's. And then baby Brittany steps in and she speaks for Miss Shanice, Miss Chantel, and baby, she is talking to Jackie, and Jackie said, I really respect you for having my daughter's back, but I'm gonna really need you to like stay out of this like right now. And Brittany's like, baby, when I tell y'all this is heating up, this is giving the tease. Now I'm not really happy that it's happening between mother and daughter and that like the group is getting involved. But the tease of how they're trying to handle the dynamic and situation. So as Brittany and Jackie are starting to get into this heated kind of back and forth. Brittany gets up and she asks Chantel, does she want to go to the bar and, go grab a drink? Because she said she can't do that right now, especially with Miss Jackie, because she says it's reminding her and triggering her of her own relationship with her mother about the dismissiveness and just not being fully transparent. And, Miss Chantel is at the bar and she's like, yeah, we do have boundaries in place. And I have tried to talk to her and let her know. And she's like, this is why we always have an issue and why things are always sticky between us and y'all. Like, to see this play out in real time and to see, like, you have to remove your feelings from the situation and kind of just look at everybody as an individual and why they're maybe speaking their parts and pieces. And I understand that Miss Chantel is just a young woman that is speaking her truth in her version of her truth. And I don't think anyone should knock her for that or should like discredit her for what she's saying because I feel like she is standing her own ground and standing on her own on the show. But while they are at the bar having that conversation, baby, the ladies are still sitting over on the couch. And Miss Jackie's like, she is proud that Brittany had her daughter back, and she's glad that her daughter has a friend like Brittany. And while, like I said, they're having that conversation, then guess who come in the room, baby? Miss Jennifer, baby. And she breaking the girls up. She got the gloves, the boots, the pony, baby. And she speaks to everyone and she sits down. And Miss Evelyn says, now, why would Brandy not tell me Jennifer's coming? She said she's trying to ruin my birthday, but actually she didn't invite Jennifer. Miss Jackie did, and Denise, and baby, the cans is really finna start oozing the eyes, and Crystal Girls is really finna start giving it up. So then, baby, as we go back to the bar, Brittany is still talking to Miss Chantel, and Brittany says, she's sorry for acting like that, but she's like, she just is not gonna take disrespect from anybody's parent and whoever that may be. And then we shoot back over to the ladies sitting down, and baby, Miss Jackie expresses, she was upset a few minutes ago, but that is now past, and she's let that go. But she says since they're all in the same room, she's like, if the ladies want to clear the air, they should. And she says, but she's not gonna get in between Miss Evelyn and Miss Jennifer and about if they should clear the air or not. That should happen on their own, on its own. And Miss Evelyn says, nah, baby, it's in the bed. We put it to rest. And she was like, okay, it's to bed. And she said, but if somebody keep coming at my door and keep knocking it, we gonna have to do what we have to do. And baby, the next thing you know, Miss Jennifer was like, so like I can call his auntie, like, well, what's the tea? Like, what's going on? And she was like, well, call his auntie. She was like, baby, I wasn't knocking at your door. My life is lit. My life is girls. And so, baby, then our girl Miss Chantel and Brittany come back and they join the group as this situation has happened between Evelyn and Jennifer. And baby, it gets real quiet. And Miss Jackie said, Brittany, you got something to say? She said, because normally you have a whole lot to say. She was like, and I'd rather hear it now than when we leave here and then you start telling what you got to say. And baby, why she do that? Because then Brittany opens up and says, I'm just saying you should stand up for your daughter. You should stick up for your daughter. You should not let people in this group do things to your daughter. And baby, Miss Jackie said, look here, that's their situation. That ain't got nothing to do with me. They two grown women. I'm gonna let that go on between them. She's like, you need to stay up out of it. And then baby, it went from there to word to word to word. And Miss Jackie sitting on the couch real calm, but Brittany's and baby, Jackie said, oh, okay. This is what you want. This is what you want. Baby, the next thing you know, y'all, they trying to get Brittany up out the door. Jackie done jumped over the couch. It's getting real. It's getting hot. And I really hate this getting to this point because I know why her daughter's upset. I know why Jackie's upset. And if you can't see that, you're crazy. You're not looking at it for what it is. Like, this is a relationship between mother and daughter, and it's falling apart because of a friend group. It's like, ah. Baby, so after Jackie has jumped over the couch, they've gotten Brittany out of the restaurant, and things are just getting very intense and really raw and emotional. And it gets so bad to the point where, you know, Jackie's daughter Chantel and Brandy walk over to the side, and they have a heart to heart in that one on one moment after all this explosion, after this entire incident has happened. Um, Jackie's like, "See, look who's talking." She was like, "No one's gonna play with her about her and her child." But she's like, "Look," she's like, "Look at Brandy, look at her daughter. They're having a conversation. They're having a one on one to the side." And her daughter's like, "I'm gonna call dad. I need to call my dad." And baby, it's just so much going on. This episode is filled with so much emotions. This scene, which is like our closing scene, is filled with a lot because you can tell that Miss Chantel and her mother have a relationship that, has a foundation that is on a shifty ground. And you can see it when she's having her one on one with Brandy, like how Miss Chantel is expressing herself and what she's saying to her. But then not only that, while they have Miss Jackie off to the side, Ming and Ty and Jennifer are sitting around Miss Jackie and talking to her. And Jennifer says to her, "Jackie, we don't have our moms, and you shouldn't want to fight with your daughter." And Jackie's like, "No, not right now. We're not going to do this right now." And which is a real moment and which is a real thing. Because a lot of times, you have petty arguments with our parents and we think, oh, it's just going to be that. But it's really more to that. It's a bigger picture. We can't just let whatever happen hold on. And Jackie walks away, and we see her, just going to get some air to breathe. And then we get back to Miss Chantel, and Miss Chantel is still at the bar, and she's talking to Brandy, and then Miss Evelyn and Miss Shani come over, and they're all offering her words of encouragement and advice, and just saying, what they would have done if the situation had occurred or went on had happened, and it was their child, and just this whole dynamic in this situation, which, like I said, it's a more than what we're seeing in a very bigger picture. So yes, 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 y'all. After everything has gotten emotional, we see Miss Jackie go over to the corner and she's trying to have a conversation with her daughter Chantel. And baby, it started off real calm and cool, but then things started to ram up and escalate all over again. And Miss Jackie was just telling her daughter, like, "Look here, whatever is going on between her and Brittany is between her and Brittany. Whatever going on between her and Brandy is between her and Brandy, and she's not getting involved in it. This is like a group involved situation. She's like in all this confusion." And then she starts asking her daughter Chantel, like, "What was Brittany saying over there to her at the bar?" She's like, "I bet you a bunch of negative." She's like, "She needs to stay out of this. This is our family business, and I'm not doing this while we on this screen, while we on this show. Like, I'm not doing this in front of these people." And her daughter's like, "Dad, Mom, if I get Dad on this phone right now, you're gonna be embarrassed. I'm gonna air you out." She was like, "You gonna air me out?" And this is how I know that a lot of this has a deeper stemming issue, and I don't agree that the way it's being displayed on the platform. But I understand we have a show. The show has to be made. I just really hate this is going on between them, and I really hope that they can get things together as a family and a unit. And I'm praying for Miss Jackie and I'm praying for Miss Chantel, because I'm gonna tell you this before I close out. You can tell that they love and care about each other no matter the arguments in the back and forth. Jackie loves her daughter loves her mom, even though things may not always have been however they may have been. But you guys, it's me, your girl, Pretty Sexy Charlotte Brand, aka Thunder Sexy. Until next time, you guys, be safe and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.